class 11. Today we are going to talk about impulse. What is impulse? We know that force is equal to mass into acceleration, and force is also equal to rate of change in momentum. So if you have F is equal to delta P by delta T, then the product of force into time, that is change in momentum, is called impulse. So impulse is defined as the product of force applied on a body and time for which the force is applied. It is also equal to the change in linear momentum, and therefore I is equal to delta P and I is also equal to Ft. Now impulse is therefore a vector quantity, and its direction is along the direction of force applied. It is also along the direction of change in momentum. The SI unit of impulse, from the very formula you have Newton second or kg meter per second, because we have just discussed that force into time is impulse. So that means we have impulse is equal to force into time, delta t. And therefore from this definition we can have the unit Newton second, and from the another definition I is equal to change in momentum, we can have the SI unit kg meter per second. So for example, if we have a mass of 5 kg and moving in along a direction of east direction with a speed of velocity of 20 meter per second, and it changes its velocity to 30 meter per second towards east in 2 seconds time, then the impulse will be equal to change in momentum, and that is 5 into 30 minus 20 becomes 50 kg meter per second. We can also find it by finding the product of force and time, because impulse is equal to force and time, and that can be done by finding the value of force, because force is rate of change in momentum. So you find the change in momentum, divide it by time, that will give you force, and then multiply it by time. You will get the same results. Now we move to the another term, Newton's third law of motion. It states that to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. In our daily life we always experience this type of thing. Say for example, if two boys are standing on the skating shoes separately, and one boy pushes the another, then the person who is pushing is also going backwards. So that way, why this happened? Because action was done by the first boy, that acted on the second boy, and reaction was sent back to the first boy, and therefore both of the boys were spreading away from each other. So as you see in the diagram, these two boys were standing on the skating shoes. One boy is pushing, and due to that the first boy is pushing second boy, that is action. The second boy is moving away from him, but in turn the second boy creates reaction force acting on the first boy, and therefore first boy is also being pushed back, and therefore it is always essentially happening that action and reaction always acts on two different points. Dear students, now we speak about principle of conservation of linear momentum. What is principle of conservation of linear momentum? Here you see that if there is a system of particles and they are interacting with each other, then the total momentum of the system of particles before interaction between them is always found to be equal to the total momentum of the particles after interaction between the particles. Say for example, if we have a particle of two particle system, and the masses of these particles are m1 and m2, their initial velocities are u1 and u2, and then after interaction between these two particles, if their velocity changes to v1 and v2 respectively, then the total momentum of the particle before interaction between them, that is m1 u1 plus m2 u2, must be always equal to the total momentum of the particle after interaction, that is m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is true for more than two particles also. So now we move to the another term, friction, which is very important in our day-to-day life. This is playing important role. How we define friction: when two layers are of different bodies are brought in contact with each other, and one body tends to move over the other or really moves over it, then an opposing force appears. This is directly proportional to the normal reaction acting on the body, and this force is known as friction. This force is known as friction, and this force is therefore we can write force of friction is proportional to minus n, where n is the normal reaction. We also express normal reaction as r, so we can also write F is proportional to minus r. When we eliminate the proportionality sign, we introduce a constant of proportionality, and here it is called coefficient of friction. It is always constant for given any two given layers in contact. So the negative sign in this formula for friction, F is equal to minus mu, and the minus sign indicates that the force of friction is always opposing the direction of motion. Thank you and have a nice day.